we don't want to believe that child abuse exists. I think it's just built into how we see the world, and yet it exists, and it's incredible the impact. Maybe you could give us a sense of how it is in a broad way, and then focus on Talbot County.
You're exactly right. Nobody wants to think about children being victims of abuse, but the fact is it does happen. April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month, and it does give us the opportunity to talk about this difficult but really important subject. It is a problem both nationally and locally. The Federal Children's Bureau, in their 2017 child maltreatment report, reported that year 674,000 children were identified as victims of child abuse or neglect. There is some bright news, though. It does appear that prevention outreach and education are working. I should have said that if we bring it down to a local level, this year to date, Talbot County Department of Social Services has responded to over 100 reports of child abuse or neglect. So we actually investigate a variety of types of child abuse, child sex abuse, child physical abuse, and neglect.
We haven't probably been able to determine the pandemic effect. There's been a worry during the shutdown that these issues are going to be compounded by social restrictions.
Families are isolated right now. They are experiencing pressures that are probably unlike any that we've seen in a very long time. People are losing their jobs. They're trying to stay home. They're trying to help their children with schoolwork. They can't get out the way they'd like to socialize and get the kind of support and connections to other friends and neighbors and family that they're accustomed to having that support from. At the same time, families are isolated, and the children are not being seen by the school system. They're not being seen by child care providers. And so one of the things that we're trying to do with community partners is get a lot of information out into the community about, if you need help, please call. If you have any concerns whatsoever about the safety of a child, please do not hesitate to call your local Department of Social Services. In Talbot County, you can call 410-770-4848 and follow the phone system prompts to reach our intake social worker, who will take a report of your concerns. If you have concerns and you're calling outside of those hours, evenings, overnight, or weekends, then just call your local law enforcement agency and they'll get in touch with us. We want to be a community of upstanders, not a community of bystanders. If you have a serious concern about child safety, or even any doubts about a child's safety, as I said, don't hesitate to call. If you call and make a report, you remain confidential. There is no sharing of the reporter's information with a family. And many times, our response is not necessarily an investigation, but it's an opportunity to go in and work with that family to find out what they need. Do we need to put services into place? Do we need to connect them with other community resources? To go back to what Jerry Milner said, to strengthen that family so that the parents can care for those children safely. Right. So don't, sort of the obvious things that people would think about in terms of injuries, but I think we all have an instinct around whether or not a child is happy, healthy, and safe, or whether something in our gut is just saying something just isn't quite right there. And as I said, I always encourage reports, even if you just have kind of that funny feeling, that kind of funny gut feeling that something isn't quite right. Don't ever hesitate to call. We'll take the information and we'll make the decision You don't have to. So we offer 2 prevention programs in the community. The first is the evidence-based nurturing parenting program, which is a program that educates parents on positive parenting techniques. It's a fantastic program that brings parents and children together. They have dinner together, then the children go off to a child care situation while mom and or dad go through a series of workshops around positive parenting techniques with the goal of preventing child abuse and neglect. The other prevention program that we offer is Empower Me. This is a program that was developed by the Jacob Wetterling Resource Center and the Zero Abuse Project. It's a child safety program that teaches both parents and children. It's a single session. Parents learn about child safety, and kids learn 4 safety strategies. And they also learn how important it is to develop a network of 5 trusted adults that they can go to with any worries, fears, or concerns. The other thing that I wanted to mention is the Talbot County Children's Advocacy Center. This is a partnership between the Talbot County Department of Social Services and the University of Maryland Shore Regional Medical Center at Easton. They provide a space that is child-friendly where we can provide services to child victims of sex abuse and serious physical abuse and what's called their non-offending caregiver. There we have a family advocate that can support that child and family as they go through the many systems that you would expect someone to have to go through after experiencing that kind of trauma. We work with a team of multidisciplinary professionals that work to support that child as well as to conduct an investigation into the abuse and, when appropriate, move forward with legal action. This is a program that enhances our Child Protective Services response for some of the most serious abuse situations, and it's an incredibly important service to the community. It's supported by the Talbot Community Connections, which is a small nonprofit that was developed to meet unmet needs in the community, fulfilled through programs at the Department of Social Services. And if you'd like to help, you can find out more about the Talbot Community Connections organization at talbotcommunityconnections.org.
Hey, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.